To you all. Woo! Super, super good evening to you all. I am so exhausted. I'm trying to have a voice tonight, and I have been screaming and hollering. I know I was supposed to come on at 8 o'clock. I am just getting back in from my nephew's uh, eighth grade, eighth grade citywide. I have to get it right. Eighth grade citywide basketball tournament. And of course, they won. They won it all 2 years in a row. This is the second year. Manville Middle School, their basketball team, is the second year that they've won every game in the season and the citywide championships against all of the other number one teams in their district played each other. And Drake, his team won, his middle school team won the whole thing, and it was so amazing. So that's my sister Tremaine's grandson. He's my great nephew, and many of you guys know his father. His father was my nephew that passed away. So we are always super excited to see him just excelling exponentially, and it's just exciting. So I'm here tonight to share with you the last night, part three, about Am I in Love with the Narcissist? From my Dr. Conte Speaks analysis, the Narcissist Academy. And for those who do not know who I am Dr. Conte Speaks, and I speak positivity, I speak knowledge, and I speak wisdom. I speak success into your life via books, via uh, TV, radio, all of those amazing venues and avenues of being able to express to you some amazing things. I always say my superpower is empowering you to be super personally and professionally. So we talked, if you're jumping on, I see someone's jumping on Facebook. I am on StreamYard. So I'm on StreamYard on three different platforms: Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And on Facebook, two different pages. So yes, I haven't had a chance to change out of my little Manville t-shirt. I'm still excited. Then of course we had to take Drake and one of his friends out for dinner to celebrate. So I 2 nights, 2 days of enjoying the game, and then last night I enjoyed Cheryl Underwood, a little adult fun for myself. And I'm going to get my sister back to the airport in the morning. And thank God I'm off tomorrow for President's Day, and I'm going to get some rest. I do have a little work to do tomorrow because my first 12-week intensive, my 12-week intensive, see, I'm exhausted. My first 12-week intensive next level coaching program starts on Tuesday. So I will be doing a little bit of preparing for that on tomorrow. But for the most part, I will be resting. But I got to come and keep my word. I wanted to finish up. We've been talking about recognizing if you're in love with the narcissist and how it could be very complex and emotionally challenging and draining and an amazing upheaval to deal with. So wanted to talk to you all about that. We will pick up, this is day 3. Am I in love with the narcissist? So number 7 way to know that you're in love with the narcissist. And I know you're like, number 7, what about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? I will review those, but I'm just going to talk about 7 and 8. And then we'll go back over 1 through 7. And then I really want to encourage you, and I will put the link here, to go to the Narcissist Academy. And there is a whole course there that you can partake in that is a deeper dive than what I've been talking about these last 3 days. And so that you'll be able to check for sure to see if you are in love with the narcissist. So number 7, Number 7, the cycle of idealization and devaluation. So, in relationships with narcissists, there are many patterns, and the patterns may show up idealization, followed by devaluation, uh, devaluating you. They idolize their partners for a minute. You guys, if you've dealt with this, 1 minute you're wonderful. They idolize you, and then they shower you with attention and affection. However, over time, they may devalue you, criticize you. Their partners criticize their partners, saying things that, hi, let me wave at you over here on Instagram. Criticizing their partners, which could lead to a very confusing and emotional turmoil. Okay, well, at 1 minute you're bragging about me, and you're saying I'm wonderful, and you're idolizing me, and then the next minute you're criticizing me. Well, if you wouldn't do this, or if you hadn't done that, you would have been a little better, or if you should do this because this doesn't seem right, and just kind of nitpicking. Glad I finally tuned in. Hi, how are you? So nitpicking at certain things that, just a day or two or last week or in the beginning of the relationship were the things that they absolutely love. They idolized about you. Those are the very things that will turn around and be used to say, this is what is bothering them about you. So that could be very confusing. And then a sense of entitlement. We did talk about a sense of grandiose of self, which I'll go back over and review really quickly before I finish tonight. But this is still a little bit different. So the narcissists often believe that they are entitled. They're entitled to special treatment. They're entitled to special attention, special affection. They may become angry or resentful if they feel like they're not being number one, or they're not being put ahead of everybody or before everybody. If they feel that their needs aren't being met because they're entitled and everything is supposed to be just right for them, because don't you know who I am? And again, everybody wants me. That goes back up to that sense of grandiose sense of self. So, and then the entitlement follows that by saying, living out like, don't you know who I am, and I'm entitled, and they may exploit others for their own personal gain, to get more recognition and entitlement. And this is usually without regard or without any type of regard for the consequences that could possibly happen. Because now, mind you, they are always right, they're always great. So they don't believe that there's any consequences that really can happen to them. So for those who have just joined me, I am finishing up part 3 of Am I in Love with the Narcissist? And so those were the last 2 that we didn't get to finish on Thursday and Friday. And so I want to recap if you missed Thursday and Friday. So the first thing that we talked about to being able to recognize whether or not you're in love with the narcissist is the excessive self-centeredness. This person often prioritizes their own needs, their own desires, and their own achievements above all else. It's all about them. They may exhibit a lack of care for you and others. It doesn't matter. Nothing matters except what they want, what they need, what they like. And none of the things that you want, need or like matters. All right. So they have that excessive sense of centeredness, self-centeredness. Then the manipulative behavior. We know all about the manipulative behaviors. They use manipulative tactics to control you and to influence you to do those things that they want you to do. So they blame everybody else but themselves. They don't take accountability of what they're doing, or they don't take, it's always excuse me, it's always somebody else. I say I've been screaming all day and yesterday. So I may lose my voice, screaming and shouting about the basketball team. So I'm gonna have to wrap this up quickly. And I was rushing to get on, so I didn't bring any water in here. I usually have some kind of tea or something when I'm talking. So yeah, so that manipulative behavior, guilt tripping you, making you feel bad, making you have to explain yourself, accusing you of lying, accusing you of not being sincere, not being honest, emotionally blackmailing you to maintain that power in the relationship. And this goes on and on and on and on. They'll get better one day and then they're back doing the same thing over and over and over. I've helped countless of women with this same type of behavior to be able to recognize it, because it becomes draining. And let me tell you, it's hard for a person who's healthy to deal with someone who is unhealthy. And you try and you hang in there and you try, but it's too much energy. It becomes draining. Just like it's hard for a unhealthy person or a narcissist to deal with a confident person, because it takes them too much energy to convince you that you're the one that's wrong, or that you need to be better or do something different. But when they find someone who is vulnerable, even if it could be a good person, a good relationship, good person who are looking and are used to having a good relationship, but they may be soft or passive, or but just maybe for whatever reason vulnerable, um, and so they get trapped and sucked into all of these behaviors. And before you know it, you're believing the manipulation, you're believing the lies, you're trying to prove that you're good, you're trying to prove that you're not cheating, you're trying to prove that you're honest. I mean, oh yeah, it can be very exhausting. And I hate it for you. I'm going to be honest. I hate it for anybody that is going through this. I dealt with this many years ago with my ex-husband. And so, upon getting out of, that narcissistic relationship and a couple of others after, I wanted to make sure that my nonprofit organization, Fresh Spirit, and my Dr. Conte Speaks coaching help anybody that is possibly going through this. You're walking around on eggshells. It's so uncomfortable to live in your own house, feeling unsafe, feeling afraid, being attacked, being talked about, being talked ugly to, being called out of your name, all of this. So thank you for whoever wrote to me wanting to know about a narcissist and wondering if you are living with the narcissist or in love with the narcissist. I did write to you back and tell you that to go to my Narcissist Academy and please sign up for that course. I hope you did that. Anybody else watching can do that as well. But I wanted to, because I knew she wasn't the only one that had these questions. So I wanted to make sure I still came on and did these 3. I was going to do one night, but the first night we had a lot of questions, and so it went way longer. So I said, let me just break it up into 3 nights. So you've got the excessive self-centeredness, you've got the manipulative behaviors, then you got that grandiose sense of self. This is when they have this inflated self-importance. Everything is exaggerated. Their talents are exaggerated. Their achievements are exaggerated. The fact that they've had all these wonderful women in their lives are exaggerated. Everybody wants them. If you lose them, you've lost the best thing in the world. I mean, just an exaggerated ball of lies. So someone said to me, Dr. Conte, when do you know when a narcissist isn't lying? I almost wanted to say when their mouth is not moving, because for the most part, they don't tell the truth, because they're using anything and everything to control you. So they're going to say that they a whole bunch of things to convince you that they're right and you're wrong. And they do a lot of accusing, and they do a lot of reflecting. So If they say you're cheating, they're usually cheating. If they say you're lying, they're usually lying. If they say you're crossing their boundaries and you don't respect their boundaries, they're usually the ones that's crossing your boundaries. If they say you're a narcissist, because narcissists are extremely good at calling other people a narcissist. They're extremely good at calling other people a narcissist. So these are the things that you might want to look into. If any of this sounds familiar, I want you to truly either get counseling, take my course, call me. Let's work on you understanding what true healthy love is, because you can't fix a narcissist. You can't change one. You know why? Because people won't fix anything that they don't admit is broken. And a narcissist don't admit that they're wrong. Remember, when it's a learned behavior, when they learn that, it's also a sickness. And when they learned this and they became a part, so abusive behavior is a sickness, and a narcissist behavior is a mental problem, a mental issue. It is a part of the the psychological mental issues that happen when a person uses guilt, control, manipulation to get the power of someone else, and it's intentional. Most of the time, women often say, men, if you're listening, women can be narcissists too. Men are not only narcissists, women can be narcissistic as well. And so if they're, again, accusing you, it just might be them. The lack of empathy. They lack empathy. You want to change them, you want to fix them, you want to compromise, you want to show them, but nothing ever is good enough. That nothing ever is good enough. Ladies and gentlemen, if you were dating a female that's a narcissist, nothing's ever good enough. So you try, and then they will give you crumbs, just a little bit, to make you feel like, okay, they're getting better, it's getting better. And before you know it, it's right back to the same thing. And then you're crying and you're stressed and you're worried, and you want them to understand, this is so horrible, I haven't done anything, and I'm true to you, and I'm honest, and I'm not cheating, and I'm not lying, and all of this stuff, because they could think you're cheating with the man in the car 3 cars over on the freeway going 75 miles an hour. One of my books, there was a case where, not my personal book, but one of the books that I teach out of and train out of, there was a narcissistic case where the gentleman went to have lunch with his wife, and she came down the elevator, and when she was on the elevator, when she got off the elevator, a man got off the elevator with her. And her husband was so angry. He's at her office, which is what they will do. They will, draw a big scene, cause you to lose your job, cause you to be late on your job, all of these different things. And so he made this big scene saying that she had sex with the man in the elevator. Now, how do you have sex coming down the elevator? You're fully dressed. They had, he had on a suit, tie, belt, shoes. She had on a full dress, stockings, heels, all of this. And you just going from one floor of a busy building, people getting on and off the elevator. And then, so the author said who's a counselor of a narcissist, said he finally had to ask the guy, you really didn't think that had happened, right? And he said, nope, I knew it hadn't happened, but I had to make a big scene. I had to make her think I thought it happened. I had to accuse her of it, so that if she ever was in an elevator with the man and he wanted to do something, she would never do it. She would never do it, because she would remember how I act a fool just when they got on the elevator together. So more than likely, even if he came back to pick her up for lunch another time, she probably, if a man was getting on the elevator, she probably would stand there and miss that elevator and wait till a whole nother elevator come, so that she don't get on the elevator with a man or something, because she don't want to upset her husband. And it's no way to not upset a narcissist, because that is just to get you upset, because you are fueling them when you're upset and when you're emotional, and they will drive you to doing things and behaving in ways that's not you. So that's why you want to be really careful when you're dealing with the narcissist. Many people want to try to, you know, give them what they give you, but you're not that person. You're not that type of person. So don't even stoop to that level. Don't even try to, you know, meet them where they are, because you don't even want to be where they are. They need help. They need counseling, which they will never get, but you need a healthy relationship. You need a healthy person in your life. So I don't waste time trying to fix them. And I know it's because it becomes very dangerous. Three out of every the black women and African women are being killed at a rate 3 times higher than any other ethnicity. And so while you're trying to still stay and deal with that, and most of the time we miss it because if it's not physical, we don't think it's abuse. But then it becomes physical, because if they can't control you anymore with the manipulation and the grandiose sense of self and the control with the mouth and talking ugly and all that, then it will get physical. So you've got excessive sense of self-centeredness and manipulative behavior, grandiose sense of self, lack of empathy, not caring about you, not understanding, not trying to connect with your emotions and understand what you're experiencing, dismissing how you feel, dismissing your, having a cold, callous behavior about what you're dealing with, lack of empathy. And then number 5, difficulty maintaining healthy relationships. They ever had a healthy relationship? They probably have had many divorces. They haven't had a healthy relationship because this is not healthy. And so nobody wants to keep up with that. So eventually there are other people get tired of it too, and they leave and they go through with them or what have you. So now you're dealing with what their other exes have dealt with. All right. Then boundary violations, crossing your boundaries, not respecting your boundaries, totally exhibiting control, behavior and anger when you try to exhibit and defend your boundaries. No. Question you. Why are you? No. You can't have boundaries. No. You can't tell somebody what's good for you and what's not, and what people can do and can't do in your life. No, because the narcissist can do anything in your life in their mind. So they don't even expect you to have boundaries, to have what you want, what you desire, what you need. Your needs don't matter to a narcissist. And then the cycle of boundary violation was what we just finished. And then the last 2 was what I started with today, the cycle of idealization and devaluation. So they idolize you, then they devalue, then they idolize you. You're great, you're wonderful, then you ain't great enough. You can't do nothing right. Everything is wrong. And then they like you, they idolize you, they're telling everybody how wonderful you are, and then they back to, if only you could do this, it wouldn't be so bad, or you did that. So you're never, ever, ever good enough, never, ever, ever right enough. Exhausting, right? It's exhausting with me talking about it. So I know it's exhausting with you dealing with it. And then the last one, number 8, was the sense of entitlement, becoming resentful when they feel that their needs aren't met, because again, it's all about their needs, and then they may exploit you and others to gain their needs met, to get their needs met. So I just want to say, please, please, please recognize these signs, ladies, mostly ladies. Yes, men go through it too, because we have some narcissistic men and we have some same-sex relationships that are narcissistic. So please, 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 I want you, if any of this sounds familiar, you want to get out safely, you want to have a safety plan, you want to have speak with a counselor or someone who can help you navigate through this and get out safely. It won't get better. I wish I could tell you it was, but it won't get better. You deserve better, though. You absolutely do. And so I just wanted to share that with you tonight. This was part 3 of Am I in Love with a Narcissist with Dr. Conte. All right. And the last thing, Before I go tonight, I want to remind you that we still have the auction going on. It's going to finish on Wednesday. If you have not gotten the raffle, if you have not gotten a raffle ticket, I was going to show the gifts, but I will show them for sure tomorrow. Uh, all of the gifts that will be presented to the beautiful woman single bachelorette that is chosen to go out on the date. So go to donate to date. I will put the link in the comments. Donate to date, and it's a great fundraiser helping us to be a blessing to three amazing women who have some amazing heartfelt situations going on that my organization Fresh Spirit Wellness for Women is definitely going to help them through. And so we just thank you for your donations. If you're not in Houston, you can still donate. Even if you aren't here to attend the raffle or to actually go on the date. All right, well, y'all be blessed. Share this information. Your sister, your cousin, your niece, possibly your mom, depending on who's looking. You may need to hear it again, and you may need to share it to a family member that needs to hear it. All right. So I will look to see you guys soon. And thank you again, as always, for tuning in. I want to help you be your best self and to be extraordinarily successful. All right. You guys be blessed. All right. I'm hanging up from you first on Instagram. Take care. All right, and then I am hanging up on you over here. I'm ending the live. I said hanging up. I'm ending the live over here on you on Facebook. I love you. Be blessed. There's nothing you can do about it. I'm going to continue to love you. And if you know the God, I know He's going to continue to bless you. All right, y'all be good. Take care.